My goodness. And there it is. Wow. Get the pin to go. And hello, everyone. Woo, we've got a good show for you tonight. The 2021 PWBA Greater Cleveland Open has reached the pinnacle. It is Stepladder Finals time, and I am pleased to be here with you. My name is Emil Williams Jr., and let's waste no more time. In fact, let's bring in, you guys love her. She's been fantastic, and certainly one of the best analysts certainly in the game, 20-time titleist, USBC, and soon to be officially PWBA Hall of Famer, Carolyn.
Hello.
Hey, CDB, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm taking notes. Look at me. See, I'm writing everything down here. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. One of the great things I feel like I can definitely bring to this show tonight is an overview of what the lanes were like and some of the transition that the ladies saw, because I did compete this week. A little disappointed, but big learning experience. But there were a lot of different viewpoints to this week. And what I mean by that is there were a few parts of the lane that ladies were playing, and you could see them playing one part at one point, and 3 games later they were playing another. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens on the show, even though there's only going to be the fewer games. It'll be interesting to see how the breakdown.
We got about 4 minutes before we start for score. So what I'm going to do right now, let's take a look at the lanes for a minute. Let's bring in our lane pattern, and of course, which CDB just said she bowled on. And we'll talk about our 4 finalists, of course, as well, CDB. So Danielle McEwen, Birgit Norreichs in our first match. What do you see and your thoughts as we begin shortly?
Well, I think Danielle's confidence has done a 100% shift. Since the after the January, so I want to say they bowled in January, but since the start of the second swing, Danielle has not bowled up to her ability. I mean, I'm a fan. She's stellar, one of the best out there, but she's working very hard on getting her rhythm, timing, and footwork to where she's comfortable. That 4-game block last night, it was a shift. You could see it on the way she walked off the lanes. You could see her actions when she would let the ball go. She was diving into her shots. So with this new confidence, I see the old Danielle on this TV show.
And our number 4 seed, of course, by the way, D-Mac, and we'll talk about that, made the jump 39th to 4th in round number 2 last night, and we'll talk about that during the show. The number 4 seed just outlasted, which happened to be Deandra Asbeatty, who almost made the top 4, but of course it is Birgit, a one-time champion. She won the Lucy in 2017 with Jason Sterner. Really consistent, I would say, CDB. Not necessarily flying under the radar, but consistent enough to say, all right, I'm just kind of in my own zone, and that has certainly got her to the finals tonight.
I think you hit it right on the head with Birgit. She kind of does fly under the radar. You know, she's very quiet, not very emotional on the lanes, right? She just kind of throws her shot, walks back, sits down, stays in her zone. So you don't really notice her, and then all of a sudden you see her climbing to the top. But she is a very intense competitor inside, and she is always analyzing what's going on. So it is no shocker that she just worked her way up, the standings and is here tonight.
And Birgit number 4, Danielle number 3. That brings us to our number 2 seed, Brianna Cote, who led this thing for 3 rounds until this morning. That is 2-time champion, already a champion this year, could be the first multi-winner in 2021. Your thoughts on what you saw from her?
I think Brianna is in her own. A few years ago, you just saw her climbing. She was changing her game. She went to 14 pounds. It boosted her confidence as well. And the thing that really helped her this week, and I talked to her earlier, was her first block. When she came to this tournament and shot 1545, I believe it was, that first round, he felt like everything she had worked on over the break, especially her spare shooting, was right on target, and that she had a chance to make this top four.
And that leaves our number 1 seed, Stephanie Zavala from Sam Houston State, the only player, of course, making her first ever championship round appearance. This could go either way, CDB. No experience sometimes means a good thing. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I bowled on the pair with Stephanie. First of all, she is such a lovely lady. I mean, we had such a good time, and I will do it funny during the show. Remind me to tell you it, but what a fantastic, awesome game. When I bowled with her, I was texting Dell and I said, Dell, I am telling you, this girl has a chance to make the show. She has not only the perfect release for this pattern, but she is making all of the right moves, and she is just doing her thing. She didn't get overly confident, yet just calm, cool, collected, went to the next pair, made the right moves. I think even though she's inexperienced on this type of TV, with bowling for Sam Houston State, who obviously has a great bowling team, they've worked on the confidence factor and the mental. So I don't think she's as nervous as we think.
I would tend to agree with that. I said it while we were watching the final qualifying round this afternoon. It could go either way regarding the experience. Sure, there's probably some slight nerves, but she told me she's out here to win Rookie of the Year. That's a quote.
Correct.
That is why she's here, which means she's ready, she's focused, and
absolutely
a grand opportunity, obviously, here early in the season.
I agree.
We've got a giveaway ongoing, folks, a Brunswick knockout. So be sure to click submit entry. Our first giveaway of the Stepladder Finals. The music is off. That means we are close. Big shout out to Mike Flanagan as well. Mike is producing our show, and he's been here throughout the entire week. I appreciate Mike as well. CDB, as you think about just the opening frames in our opening match, how important is it for either player, really, to calm the nerves, but really just kind of get off to a good start?
Well, I think that's going to go both ways. Again, Danielle is no stranger to TV. She's made numerous shows. Birgit has made a few shows and has one title, which is the doubles, the Lucy doubles. Knowing the way that the European bowlers are, they are prepared for anything. So I think it's the first few shots, like you mentioned, that you're looking at, just get it off my hand, get it going in the right direction. And that right there will just loosen you right up.
Last few shots, of course, for Danielle and Birgit. Want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Our Bowl TV community is spectacular. We'll have, again, a couple of giveaways additionally today. For Danielle McEwen, that's been talked about throughout certainly this weekend and really since the season has begun, the ability to fight through this nagging foot injury. People have noticed she's been wearing a bowling shoe, a tennis shoe, and it's been a little bit of an issue, but this week certainly she has grinded through. All right, folks, we are underway. I see scores. Birgit is off and running.
I froze up there just a little bit. So she did 710, correct? That
is indeed a 710. I froze up as well.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was just me.
The first shot was Danielle McEwen. She did strike.
Yes.
I am away from the action. So if that makes any sense for the viewers at home, I am away from the action, so I can't see. I'm looking at the monitor.
Birgit did throw a good shot. As you can see, both ladies trying to play further to the right. There was a lot of friction on this pattern from the gutter to about 7, 8, 9. And you'll see, I didn't see Danielle's first shot because it froze up just a little bit. I want to see if they're playing straight or kind of getting it out to the dry.
Good shot there for Birgit. So early open for Birgit. She's got a strike in the second. Danielle McEwen looking to quickly double up. This one's on the lane.
Yeah, you could see right when she let that one go, she definitely closed down on that. If you could see that from the side, what I mean by that is her right shoulder got in front of her left shoulder quicker than she normally does, because Danielle has a great swing. When that ball gets to the top of her swing, she just drops it. And that there, you could see she closed down on it. But if you also watched her feet, they were very slow. Danielle has quick timing, and that's one of the things she's working on.
And one of the things that we saw this week was sometimes the ability to not repeat, which is very unlike Danielle, which lets us know, obviously, the foot would come into play every now and again as she makes that spare.
It is. One of the things she really said is she's really trying to find a trigger that allows her to drive into her last two steps. If you watch Danielle when she's bowling her best, she's very methodical, but it's constant. It's one of those constant beats. And right now, every now and then, she feels like she hesitates.
That one is a little right. Oh, and some beloved carry.
Definitely got that one to the right, but the girls were able to do that. The ladies were able to get the ball to the right, feed it, not throw it down lane, but just feed it to the right. Again, off of that spot on the pattern, there was hook from 1 to 7, and you just needed to get it to the right point early, and it would just roll up off the pattern, and the carry was very good.
So Danielle, strike, spare, strike to begin here. Mia Williams Jr. with Carolyn Doran-Ballard, Mike Flanagan, as we watch Birgit Norrijks, recently married last July. Good shot there, gets them all to go. We've seen the 710 carry a lot this week. Did you have any hits like that, CDB?
I did. Like I said, sometimes they look like they fell like logs, but right here you could see with Birgit, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Birgit gets on the side of the ball a little bit. She has a little bit more of she spins it just a little bit more. Her ball never really hooks early, so she can stay on top of the pattern and play more direct for longer. She uses her ball speed to her advantage. You're going to see that out of Brianna as well. Danielle has softer ball speed, so you'll see her migrate just a little left of that.
Birgit looking for the first triple of our match. Bang. And she split the 8-9 beautifully there.
Another great shot. I can't see him a little far away, but right up, looked like right up 9, 10, 11. Not much. She's not, she's not getting the ball to the right at all. She's really just trying to use her ball speed to keep the ball in front of her. So when it hits the hook, it rolls in the right spot, and she's created just a little bit of hold.
All right, back to McEwen, lane level view, bang, and that one was perfect as well. And then now both players start to kind of tune in a little bit. Looks like maybe found some early rhythm. And I know it's been a long time since I've been on the lanes, but I always felt that getting into a good rhythm was important.
Absolutely. And especially when you're working on your game or you don't feel like something's right, you always try to go back to your basics. Okay, what did I do? What do I do best? And when I bowled my best, how did I feel? And that's really what Danielle is digging for right now.
Here is D-Mac. Looking to add another to her squad here, and that splits the 8-9 as well. And so 2 excellent shots from both McEwen and Norrijks.
And right there is a great shot of, you could see Danielle's swing drop down naturally. That's where she used that right foot to really drive into the line, and it allows her shoulder to just, it is so smooth, and that is the old Danielle right there.
Fourth frame, Birgit. Lane level. High scoring, certainly, as we all know, and those of you who have watched this week, CDB was part of it. CDB, we pegged you for the show too, by the way, and you looked like you were on your way early.
Oh, I was. And this is a great shot right here. Yep, you can see about 11, 9, 10, getting it out to about 7. Smooth ball motion. That's what all of the girls were looking for, were balls that read that front to middle part of the lane and really tried to slow down and keep the 1-3, if you are right-handed, of course, in play. And then you just manipulated with balls either up or down to increase your carry.
That's her maiden name. Norreich's looking for a 5 in a row. Oh, the trip 9.
Almost a stone 9 trip. Right here, she gets it just left of target. You can see it's a little more right to left. Goes just a little high, but gets the break. I bowled very well, and thank you so much for bringing that up. I used this tournament as a practice for the queens. I did not move with the transition in 2 games, and I split a whole bunch, but I ended on a good note. So hopefully you'll be talking to me in Reno.
That sounds good. We'll take that as we watch McEwen. That's a touch right. Will she roll the 10? She will not. What did you see there, CDB?
So one of the things Danielle says that she notices is that when her feet do not keep moving, she's been missing to the right. She doesn't feel like her hand gets back in a good position. When everything is methodical and smooth with her, and she keeps everything moving and really drives with that 4th and 5th step. I say 4th and 5th because I take 5 steps, but those last 2 steps, it gets her hand in a good position and she doesn't miss right. Those are the shots that she says are not me repeating. That's how she feels.
10 pin taken care of as McEwen heads to the 7th frame. If you are just joining us, this is the 2021 PWBA Greater Cleveland Open Stepladder Finals. My name is Emil Williams Jr. and joined by Carolyn Doran-Ballard, USBC, and soon to be officially PWBA Hall of Famer, legend on the PWBA Tour, and an excellent bowling analyst. McEwen now, 7th frame, live from Yorktown Lanes in Parma Heights, Ohio. Looks good. Ooh, and a 4-pin there, so maybe just left.
A little bit. She looked a little bit slower on that, and I was going to talk a little bit about that too. Definitely a little left of target. You can see that. And when you miss left, if you were a little slow, your ball did hook off that spot and go high. Ball speed was definitely an advantage this week because of how much hook was on the lane. And again, when things are good, she says her hand's in a good position and it allows her to create ball speed naturally. So right there, that's one of those shots where it might have gotten a little slow, gets a little ahead of herself, closes down on it, and obviously she got a break though and left the 4-pin.
So for Birgit, I mean, she has everything in control at the moment. Early 7-10, and since that point, 5 in a row. She shot 220, if my mind is remembering, 220 plus, if I'm not mistaken. But she needed a double. Lindsay Boomershine had a chance late to sneak in to the top 4. Here's no rights. Oh! And some love on the 10-pin.
That's one of those hits. You see how you almost think it's going to be a 7-10, then it goes to a flat 10, and there's a pin that just lightly hits it. Telling you, it doesn't look like it's going to go down, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh.
The looking lane level view there. So Birgit, again, the opening 7-10, she has thrown 6 in a row since that point. Meanwhile, McEwen, while clean, has not been able to maintain the pace from a strikes perspective that Birgit has so far early. Our other seated players off in the distance, getting set. Maybe a few practice shots. Of course, Brianna Cote will meet the winner here. Birgit. Bang, continues the onslaught.
She's, Birgit, first of all, nobody in the top four. This goes for all of the girls in the top four. Birgit is a repeater. You can see it. She doesn't, again, very simple game, likes to keep the ball in front of her and just repeats, which is why I said she's that silent giant.
Indeed, and she's looking very good here. Can McEwen mount up a potential comeback? She's going to need some help, obviously, and that's a good start with a strike in the 8th.
Right here, great shot by Danielle, getting it out to that 7-8. But you could see the leverage that she had. When her swing just drops from the top, there's no stopping Danielle. And this is going to boost her confidence. And she will be ready for next week.
Next week, indeed, the first major of the PWBA season, the USBC Queens. It'll be at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. So overall, it'll be the third USBC major held there, including the U.S. Open and the USBC Masters. Danielle through the nose, and that might do it. 4-6-7.
She looks like she actually moved a little left on this lane, got it to the right, but it just overhooked. Could be a little slow again. All from her tempo. Also, one of the things that happens is when her tempo is a little bit off, she tends to want to get around it. I don't think she chooses that. It's just when her tempo gets where she's not as late as she likes to be and just letting it drop, she tends to get around it. And that, of course, causes your ball to overhook.
So at this point, CDB, Birgit, obviously in a winning position. How would you approach the 9th and 10th frame if you were Birgit?
I would get the 1 in the 9th or mark, make sure it's mathematically over, which obviously it is. And I'm always a ball. I like to try other balls just to see, especially on this pattern. One of the things you're going to see, another great shot here, by the way, by Birgit. Looks like she's going right up 12 out to about 8. Nice, smooth ball motion, very controllable. And I don't want to jinx her. I hate saying this, but she's a very good spare shooter. I think I like to try a ball in the 10th, especially if the game's over. Try something, because with the breakdown of this pattern, one of what the girls did was either went to something a little weaker with surface and moved to the right, or they chased it left and actually went to stronger bowling balls. So there was a choice there as to what you were most comfortable doing.
All right, 10th frame for Birgit. Don't forget, we will have additional bowling ball giveaways as well from both Storm and Rotogrim. And a little lazy 7-pin there for Birgit. First shot, 10th frame. Brianna Cote, the number 2 seed, will be entering the Stepladder Finals arena here in just a second. The leader after 3 rounds until Stephanie Zavala got busy this morning.
Now there was a silent giant out of nowhere. I bowled with her. There was the silent giant, right? Deandra was up there, Lindsay. I mean, you name it. You had tough opponents up there. I mean, everybody's tough, but girls who could get up and throw it, for the cheese to get to that position. So that's what I meant. I meant that in the nicest manner.
Final shot. Looked pretty good to me. 247 for Birgit Norrijks. Big shout out to new hubby. This will be almost a year in July, Toby. And he's been watching throughout the week as well. D-Mac will finish things out, but can't say enough about what D-Mac did this week, including the 1545 in round number 2, the night block, to go from 39th place after round number 1 to fourth place. And of course, she ends up third on the show.
Yeah, although she's not going to be happy about winning because, of course, you always want to win. But I think she is definitely walking away from this. She will process everything that went on this week, the good choices that she made, the changes in the ball surface, the motion she liked to see. She will also reflect back on those good shots she had to make to bowl either good games or move herself up the ladder. And that will not only build her confidence, but will also show her that the steps she's taking is putting her in the right direction. And again, I think that's all a positive. And Danielle does that. She'll just feed off of that, and she will get better and better with each week.
Indeed, 206 for Danielle McEwen. Of course, falling to Birgit Norreichs here. And we have Danielle ready, willing, and able right now to join us here. So let's take you there first and foremost. Danielle, let's go here. We'll go there. And there we go.
Maybe. Hi, Danielle. Okay, Danielle, first thing, great move this week. Let's start with that. I believe you averaged 278 for 4 games last night to make that move into the cut. So tell us a little bit about what you did after that morning block.
Yeah, I talked to my ball reps. I made some changes based on what I'm doing physically right now and what we're seeing on the lanes. And, once I saw the shape, my physical game kind of just clicked, a little switch flipped, and I just went with it.
Just went with it. Ride that 278 average. I just love it. Now, when I talked to you today by text, you have been working on your footwork. I also noticed you went from 4 steps to 5 steps. So why did you make that change, and what is the progression that you're looking for?
I actually go back and forth between 4 and 5 all the time. It's kind of a timing trick, depending on where my ball wants to move at that given time. I just kind of try to trick it with my feet. But right now I'm really just working on my last couple of steps. I'm really having a hard time accelerating my last steps. So just trying to find different triggers that will let my body do what I'm trying to command it to do.
Well, what will you take away from what you did this week? Because I did mention the fact that I know you're very process oriented. You're going to analyze everything you did this week, the good things, the bad things, whatever, and then you're going to put it together and move forward. What are some of the keys you are going to take away from this week moving into the Queens?
I think the biggest thing is just feeling like myself for that little bit where I had those really good games. I felt like Danielle again, which I really haven't felt in a while, it feels like right now. So I'm just going to try to hone in on that and bring that into the Queens.
Excellent. Well, good luck next week, Danielle. Safe travels.
Thank you.
All right, that is Danielle McEwen. Big thanks to D-Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, D-Mac. It was good to see her. Of course, I haven't seen anyone for a long time, so it's good to see everyone for me. But so D-Mac gets a Stepladder Finals appearance, another, her second, of course, this year. And now on to Brianna Cote. We will have a ball giveaway, by the way, folks, so keep reminding me.
Yay, ball giveaway.
2021 ITRC Classic, part of the Kickoff Classic down in Arlington, Texas. Someone, obviously, who knows what it takes to win, has also gone through that struggle of being on the losing end in some really bad situations, and now she gets another opportunity here tonight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I love Brianna's game. I love it. It's simple. It's point A to point B. It's like looking at Danielle. Most of the girls, really, it's just point A to point B. She knows what her strengths are, and she knows what her weaknesses are. So she takes advantage of the strengths and continues to work on the weaknesses. And that's what she did over the break, and that's why she's in the finals tonight.
All right, Brianna Cote will take on Birgit Norreichs. And for Birgit now, CDB, again, great game, 247. How do you approach this second match here? We talked about how to approach the 10th frame, try something, try a different ball. I didn't confirm if she did, but what would you do?
I don't know. I mean, it's a flip of the coin. It was a high-scoring week. So I think all of the bowlers are going to be lined up, and they already have an idea how they're going to attack the pattern. If I were Brianna, I would have been watching the match, or at least the end, to see is there a lane that looked like, in other words, Birgit, right? She went 10 pin and then left that blower 7. Is there a lane that's changing for her? That might make my decision on whether I'm going to start or finish, right? The other thing I do take into consideration is Brianna has a few more shows than Birgit. Maybe she makes her finish the match. You know what I mean? Let her sit on the bench. Let me put some pressure on her. So I think it's more of what your comfort level is and as to what you're seeing on the lanes.
And for Brianna Cote, of course, you think back to her first title, 2016 Lexington Open, by the way. Also, let me throw this in there. Storm bowling ball of choice via their website. So you will get a chance to pick a Storm bowling ball that is from the Storm website. The giveaway is on the way right now. It's happening. If you're in full screen mode, get out of that. You'll see the link at the bottom where it says submit entry. Go ahead and do that. For those in regards to my volume, I've turned it up, of course. Masks are what we need to do at the moment, so bear with me on that. I'll yell if necessary. I don't want to blow away CDB for that particular point. Okay, so back to Brianna Cote, 2016 Lexington Open winner. We talked about the ITRC Classic winner. Had some struggles. Last week specifically, CDB, she said that was an unacceptable performance. She did not cash. She bowled well, just didn't match up. And here she is leading 3 of the 4 rounds as we get underway here in just a second. And it looks like with Cote being the top seed, or the higher seed, excuse me, she has chosen to begin the match. Cote versus Norreich's first shot for Bree, and that is a strike, and she has done a lot of that this week.
She definitely made the right decision. I talk about this all the time with her. She loved going to 14 pounds. She feels like she can get around the ball a little more and also repeat, and it also increased her ball speed, and she felt that that was something she was lacking, and now she feels like she can do it without even thinking about it, and it has increased her carry percentage, and I agree.
Yeah, there was a point there, and that's an excellent point where she did make a change in weight, and it became a major emphasis in her game as we see the first trouble here. Again, a first frame split for Birgit.
Right here, it looks like she moved further right. She got this one way out to about the 3-4 board. Left the 210. One of the things you have to think about too, now, I don't know if there's a practice lane on, but she's been waiting. You tend to, the tendency really is to be a little bit slower. She actually, through that one, it seems a little bit harder and got it further right. So I don't know if that was the weight or just a bad shot.
Well, we know she knows how to rebound quickly after it opens in the first frame.
Right.
And so she'll move on over to the left lane. 21 and 22 is our TV pair. Big thanks to everyone for tuning in, our Bowl TV community, and those watching, obviously, from not only the United States, but we know we have a ton of international viewers. There are a lot of places that you could be, and we appreciate you for being here with us. Birgit, of course, from Germany. Anticipate certainly some fans watching from that part of the world. Second shot, trip 4.
That was identical to the other trip 4 that we saw. Right here, gets it left of target. Goes just a little high in trip 4. Now, Danielle also went high on that lane when she got it in, that shot. So that tells me that possibly the left lane may be starting to hook a little bit earlier. I know they missed in, but again, there was a little bit of hold with the ball speed, and right there we're seeing the ball just hook up just a little soon.
Here is Cote. Second frame for Bree. Ooh. Well, interesting there. Just it looks to be a 2-pin, nearly a 2-pin combination of multiple sorts.
It actually looked like a good shot off her hand. This lane could be, obviously, could be a little tighter for the ladies. When they get it a little bit right, it's not coming off that spot. as much as it was on that first match. And again, the left lane looks like it is hooking just a little sooner.
So Cote with a 9 spare to deal with. And speaking of fans, of course, I'm sure husband Randy, friend Sarah, and everyone else from the Cote family, for that matter, they roll deep down there in Tucson. Shout out to Tucson, Arizona. Big spare for Cote.
One of the things I always call her Brianna. I really do think her name is Brianna.
Well, it is. I mean, it's pretty.
I'm going to have to ask her again because I don't know why I always call her Brianna. She says to me, though, when I did ask her, she said, you can call me whatever you want. I'm like, okay. But one of the things she worked on over the break was her spare shooting. And she's always been a good spare shooter, but she felt like she was a little off at the end of last season.
Third frame. Bang, good shot there.
Great comeback shot. The girls are definitely, and I keep calling girls and ladies, so I know I'm going to hear it on the Facebook page that I did that, so I'm admitting to it right now. But definitely playing a little bit further left on the left side, which tells me that hook spot is a little earlier. They seem to be playing a little bit more direct and further right on this right lane.
So Norikes, who, again, just like in game number 1, if you're just joining us, she defeated Danielle McEwen 247-206. Began with a split 8-1 in the ninth, came back with a strike in the second and another in the third, 8-1 and a 9, I should say, in the first frame, and now a double again.
Definitely kept this one up the lane, crossing about 12 out to 8, high flush. So that first shot, she got the ball way out to about 3-4, and it did not read the pattern. Again, the right lane definitely looks to be tighter than the left lane. We'll see if she makes a move over here off that trip 4.
Norikes, again, consistency, really one of her keys. Blocks of 1,400 or better in the first 3 rounds. Able to move into the top 4 and a shot at this title here today. Excellent shot again. And just like that, again, the early open, a 3-bagger to follow.
Did not miss left on this shot. Almost looked identical to the right lane, just a little bit further left. One of the things that she is doing for the TV show, she felt like the lanes were hooking a little earlier, so she's using less surface than she did all week. So again, this is good for the people who are watching. Even though they're in the same bowling center, bowling on the same pattern, the lanes change constantly.
That's a good point. We'll talk a little bit about that more after the Cote shot. Looks good, and it is. Splits the 8-9 well.
Much more direct. Brianna all week used an ordinance C4, I believe that is. It's a weaker ball, but it's so smooth. I mean, it read this pattern phenomenal.
I thought CDB potentially, and we've talked about the more the pattern is laid down, of course, the truer it plays. But all week, the scores have been very high on the fresh, and certainly throughout, but really on the fresh.
Yes.
I thought that could spell high scores, certainly, because, there's only 3 matches here in the Stepladder.
Right. So you don't see as much breakdown, obviously that you're going to see as you go pair to pair and there's more bowlers on the pair. But depending on how the ladies throw their practice shots can also dictate where those lanes are going to break down. Another great shot. If you notice, the ladies are not getting the ball to the right down lane. It's more of an arc effect. And that's what everybody was trying to do. It didn't matter what balls you were throwing. Everybody was trying to be as smooth as possible into the pocket.
The phrase used a lot by the reps this week, slow response bowling balls, nothing quick or jumpy off the spot. Certainly, as you've mentioned, smooth and archy throughout. Now back to Norikes here. It's frame. It's been fun to watch these great players do what they do this week, and they are continuing it here. in the Stepladder finals.
Yeah, the girls that were at the top, if you notice, and I always take a look at that, when I'm not bowling, I try to look to see what ball rolls are matching up. And you saw a lot of people who did get a little more on the side of the ball. Birgit, Lindsay, Deandra, people that actually get their ball through the front pretty darn easy and then have that motion towards the back. And then it started to taper out just a little bit. So that, again, is a sign of where the lanes are changing and what ball rolls tend to match up, or what the girls may have to do to match up their roll to what's on the lane.
Oh, and a 9-pin. That one probably was just a hair in.
I think both shots were actually a little in, because you could see after she let the ball go. But she got a break on this one and just left the 9-pin.
Good break for Birgit, but I was just going to say, this one was about to shape up and still could be. At the time, the max scores were 280, 279, which wouldn't be uncommon for what we've seen so far this week. She'll handle business on the spare. And now back to Cote. I see some 4-leaf clovers going around in the chat. Reed, that's she's got some jerseys and some skirts and whatnot made with 4-leaf clovers. So those folks clearly know Brianna Cote. So shout out to those individuals.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a tidbit that she told me.
I'm ready.
Both her tour titles, I did the live stream.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Well, there it is.
This week you did. I said, well, guess what? I'm doing it this week too.
And she is still striking while you are still commentating as well. With another one on the board for Cote.
This one actually gets out to about 7. But see how smooth everybody, at home, that was a great shot to watch. So often when I'm doing clinics or I travel, everybody likes to see their ball hook on the back end. It looks cool. It just, everybody wants to have an 850 rev rate. Well, that was a perfect shot. Lower rev rate, right? Lower rev rate, keeps the ball in play. And look how powerful her ball is off the pattern with that smooth motion.
Cote, a former four-time first-team All-American at Central Missouri, splits the 8-9 again. And we have seen Bree get into modes like this in many events. But this week she never looked sped up. She always looked in rhythm, and that looks the same as well.
Yes, she's very confident. She's been confident after her first victory. It just was a process of knowing that I can do this every week. And now you're seeing that confidence exude even more on the lanes and in her performances, and which come with her shot making and also through pressure situations.
Big thanks to all of our accessory partners. We appreciate your support of the PWBA. And another great shot there for Birgit. Now playing catch-up. She's going to need some help here.
She is just another great shot. One of the things you want to watch, and I preach on this every week when I'm doing the shows. I mean, look at the leverage that these ladies have going into the line. I mean, all going forward, their body, their legs are underneath them. That is where you get your power from, is the leverage getting into the line. That's what allows your swing to drop freely, and that's what causes all the power, is using the legs.
Big double here, very necessary for Birgit, and she gets a friendly carry. A strike in the 8th frame.
That one, as you can see, she threw way more with her upper body. She wasn't very stable at the end, but she got the light mixer.
So that's a huge double. Still keeps her max score at 258. Of course, Cote maxed at 280. But any non-strike coming up for Bree, and certainly Birgit will still have an opportunity here as we get closer to this one. 8th and 9th frames coming up for Cote. Again, she elected to begin the match Shot for Bree. Oh, nearly trouble there. The 7 was late to go. What did you see there, Carolyn? It's the first time I've ever called you
You
Carolyn.
got this one way right. See that ball? From here, it looks like she got it out to about 3-4. So remember on this lane, the further right you got the ball down the lane, remember Birgit left the 2-10, a flat 10. Now she left the flat 10. So you definitely want to keep it in and what they used to call like the tube, that 6, 7, 8 area. Once you get it on this right lane, past that down lane, it just does not read the pattern as sharp as it does on the left lane.
Oh, we're looking at a 1-pin match. As things are converted here. Well, coming down to the final frames. And just like you would think, certainly with this environment, this lane pattern, the surface, and here in this bowling center.
I like when they come down the 10th frame, except when it was me on TV. Other than that, I hope they all go down to the 10th frame.
How did you handle late game situations like this? What was the breathing like? I know where slowing down the heart rate is super important.
I didn't breathe, and all I did was pray.
I like that.
Okay, I kept it simple. Yeah, I kept it simple. No, you just stick to the same thing you've been doing and the same process you've been using, and you really did need to calm the heart rate down, though. That is for sure.
9th frame shot. Cote. Ooh, it's right. It's right. Need some help. She gets
Wow.
a late roll on the 7. Wow, indeed.
2 shots she got, but like we said, this left lane definitely has more hook. So it definitely came off the spot again. It was light, but she got the break on the light shaker.
So Cote will take a seat with a max score of 259. And at the moment, Birgit, max score of 258. Birgit is going to finish first. 9th frame shot coming up on lane 22, right lane here. Roll, maybe, no. And now Birgit not in trouble completely, but starting to run out of shots.
That was a good shot. Just the carry down on this right lane just seems to be more on the back end. And that was one of the things as the block was continuing, some of the pairs got where the back ends got just a little tight. And I think the reason that we felt that way was because the fronts hooked so much. So again, you had to have your ball slow down so that you could play the lane the way you wanted to. And some of the girls chose to be a little bit further right and play more of the fronts. And some of the girls, definitely moved left and just played more of that track out to the 6, 7, 8 area just to get the motion that they needed.
Important 10th frame can still put pressure on Cote to at least mark in the 10th frame if she can throw all 3 here. And the 7 pin will not be kind.
Again, got this one way far right. And I think she thought it was going to go.
It looked to be, and that was a hit that a lot of the players did get this week.
It did, but I'm going to tell you, it either went or it didn't. It was very odd, and a lot of 7-10s. So again, I think there was a lot of hook out there, and the scores were high. But there were pairs where you could shoot 2-0, and you only had 1 double. It just was very strange pair to pair. Again, yes, on some pairs it was phenomenal, but I could see some girls leaving that blower 7 or that 7-10, and it's like, hey, I threw that one good.
All right, fill shot for no rights. Bang. All right, so Birgit is in the clubhouse with 226. So by my count,
Mm-hmm.
9 out would be a winner.
Yes.
On a strike, of course, I'm worrying about count necessarily, but obviously wants to throw a good shot, and obviously the striking there is what you'd love to see. There's some chatter
And I
about
believe,
this.
right, and I believe she left the 10 pin, right? Last time on this lane? Yeah.
Nearly a 7-10. To advance, Cote, bang, and Brianna Cote is on to the finals. She will take on the number 1 seed, Stephanie Zavala.
Great shot. Keeping it again. That was the magic area right there as those lanes where that hook to the right became too much, that 12, 13 area out to about 8 was where everybody migrated to.
And another for Brie Cote. So for Brianna, and now taking a look at what she has to face up ahead, Carolyn, based on her ball reaction, subtle moves, if any, maybe trying to ball change. I think she is going to do that here on the field, which I think is smart.
She is. She's going to try a ball change. And her game plan for tonight was keep it simple, right? She's not first of all, she's not an overthinker. So keep it simple and just bowl. But the key for her this week, when I asked her what one of her strengths was, she said, honestly, I stayed in the moment and I made small moves, minimal moves. I just kept trying to do what I'm doing and fill frames. So again, right there.
CDB froze up for just one moment. I believe she is back.
We are back.
And just in time, which is good to speak with Birgit Norreich. So Birgit, first and foremost, congratulations on a great week. Talk to us about what you saw in the finals here.
I mean, it's pretty much that if you have a 9 count, you're out. It's brutal. I mean, the scores are so high. Even if you're throwing it good, it's just all about pin carry. And I mean, everyone in the finals deserves to be there. We all showed that we can strike. I mean, that's for sure. So
Yeah, that is true. I can say that. You look so much more solid at the line. I know you used to be a little bit more upright, but you actually look like you're using your legs a little more and not as upright. Your ball seems to be getting into the lane a little bit smoother. Is this something that you worked on? You know, obviously, I don't want to say COVID, but prior to COVID.
yes, I did, and it's still a lot better in practice. I haven't bowled a tournament before the season started in 15 months, so everything is still closed and in lockdown in Germany. So it was just pretty much me and myself practicing. I mean, and yeah, I was working on that. I'm still like, I know I pop out of my knee like a lot, and it's getting better. I mean, I'm getting there.
Oh, absolutely. No, I could notice it. I talked about it too while you were bowling. I could definitely notice it. But again, working of your game, because yes, of course, last year was COVID. But tell us, and this is non-bowling, but you recently got married.
Yep.
So let me ask you, has that changed some of your perspective on what you expect out of yourself, or what your goals may be?
Not really my goals, but I mean, everyone keeps saying like that we are so thankful for having a tour and that things are going back to normal. And for me, I mean, it really is that way. I'm thankful that I can even be here. I didn't think this was going to be possible. My husband is just on his way right now. I think he's in Chicago right now, and I'll meet him tonight. So yeah, I'm just really happy that we have something to bowl for, and everyone in Germany. I kind of wanted to bowl better because it was kind of for everyone that's just not even able to practice or bowl like since November. So it's really tough.
I think that's great. No, I love it. And by the way, you have a beautiful country. And then lastly, I'm going to ask you because I don't get to talk to you as often
Oh yeah.
right now because it's early in the season. So see, I expect great things from you, Birgit. What is one of your goals for this year?
I mean, I've made a couple shows in the past. Of course, if you get close and you just want to win, I mean, this weekend was good. I was close the last 2 weekends to make top 12, so would have been nice to win a title, I think, because some girls keep saying I don't have one because the one I have is the mixed doubles. So I kind of want to prove them that I can do it, but obviously I don't. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, you're off to a great start and you look great out there. I mean, your game, you look rock solid. So you will be there again. You keep knocking on that door. It'll open. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That is Birgit Norrijks. Congratulations again, Birgit, on a fantastic week.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, what an excellent week for her. And what an excellent week for Stephanie Zavala, who is our number 1 seed, and she will hit the lanes next. Big thanks to our gold partners, Kegel, Brunswick, Roto Grip, and Storm. Speaking of Roto Grip, let's fire off the last bowling ball giveaway from Roto Grip right now. So be on the lookout for that on the bottom of your Bowl TV viewing screens. CDB, what do you see in this one? How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I don't know. I picked last time and I was wrong. I'm going to go with experience. I am going to go with Brianna because I think she exudes confidence. Yet, I'm expecting great things out of Stephanie because, again, what a phenomenal natural talent. Sam Houston State, coached by Brad Hagan. Great bowling program. I don't think she is fearful of anything.
First shot for Zavala, and she starts the match as the higher seed is a strike. And boy, how about that? That's a great way to start in your first time in the championship round setting.
Great shot. And again, again, I just keep repeating it. I know. Do you see the foundation at the line that she has? I mean, it is all power, but again, from the legs, these ladies just use the right part of their body to allow themselves to be so athletic.
And the giveaway is ongoing, by the way. Roto Grip ball of choice from I guess it's not your choice. It is from the Roto Grip website as Cote leaves a 4-pin first shot championship match.
Using the same ball, just goes a little bit high and leaves the 4-pin. But again, she's going to make small moves. I will anticipate that she'll do, off a 4-pin, she'll move a 2 and 1, maybe even only 1 with her foot because the moves were small this week. You didn't have to jump big zones or move, the big 5 and 3. It was all about once you were lined up, just kind of moving right off of that and continuing with the same shape.
All right, Cote will attack the 4-pin here. Congratulations to Michelle McCroy. Brian Allen won the Brunswick Ball giveaway knockout, and I didn't get a chance to write down our Storm Ball giveaway winner, but all of our giveaway winners tonight, the PWBA marketing team will be reaching out to you to figure out when, where, and how to get you your prize. Congratulations.
I like how you said that. When, where, and how.
I just make stuff up as I go.
I like that.
Second frame upcoming for Cote. You talk about collegiate bowling.
Yes.
At CDB, you know about it. You participated. I participated. And I think there's no doubt it is a huge stepping stone opportunity and a great prepare from an experience perspective. Cote, of course, from Central Missouri. You mentioned Sam Houston State from Zavala. How important has collegiate bowling become to the professional level?
I think it is, there is no percentage, just the importance of it, besides getting a great education while you're doing something you love, that's number 1. Number 2, there are so many bowling programs out there with great coaching opportunities that for these young ladies not to take advantage of that would be a sin. It really would. But look at the talent that is coming out of the collegiate ranks. Here we have Stephanie. You have Brianna Clemmer. You have, goes a little light, gets that one right. This right lane has been the lane that's been the key. Right here gets that one out. Look at that, out to almost 1-2.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's the 210 or the 2810. I can't see from here.
That is the 2810.
2810. But you look at Stephanie and you look at Brianna Clemmer, Jordan Richard. I'm trying to go to, I mean, all of them. Alicia Current now is one of the coaches for Delaware. I mean, if they're not bowling, they're coaching. Shannon O'Keefe. I mean, it's so important, not only for the ladies, but for our sport. I think this is a great stepping stone and a great foundation for us to be able to really grow our sport at that level and keep them hooked on bowling.
Well said there. Equipment perspective, big thanks to Mike Flanagan, our producer. Stephanie Zavala throwing the Honey Badger intensity. I think she's been throwing that all day.
Yep,
go ahead.
It's going to get down the lane. It's going to be a little mid-laney, and then again, smoother on the back. If she needs that ball to kick a little harder, she can do that with her hand.
Kick, bang, and there it is. Didn't flirt with the gutter there. No split, just 10 back. Here it is again.
The other part of that is you can see that she is a little further left than where Brianna is. And actually, she's further left than everybody was because she really does have more axis rotation. She was able to get a little further left of the pattern during her qualifying as well. And I think that was an advantage for her. I really do, especially going pair to pair.
You mentioned Brianna earlier throwing the Ordnance
Yes.
C4 for 900 Global and still in that bowling ball as well. Yeah, Bree had a little bit of a hiccup in game 2. Oh, send that messenger, Brianna Cote.
So see, for all the people that are watching and say, I'm not going to 14 pounds, it doesn't hit as well. Well, look at this. There you go.
Well said.
If you can repeat and you can throw it close to where you want to throw it every time, I don't care whether you're throwing 14, 15, or 16, you can do that.
Wow, what a messenger. Big double there. Spare double to start. Cote in the semifinal match began strike, spare, then a 5-bagger. And off to another good start here against the rookie, Stephanie Zavala, making her first appearance in a championship round setting. Here's Cote, 4th frame. This time she is able to mix them up, and so she's got the 10 back working, she's got the mix working, CDB.
Good shot. Gets this one a little bit further right. If you notice, the shots that are high flush are a little more direct. The light carry gets it a little bit further right down lane, which is not bad because, of course, as you know, there was area this week. But again, you know, the old saying, when you carry hits like that and you're carrying the high flush, right ball, right part of the lane.
Here's Zavala from Downey, California, just outside of Los Angeles. Looks good. And a 9-pin.
Great adjustment on this right lane. Keeps that into around that 7 area. Did not get it as far right. Great shot, stone 9. Actually, that wasn't a stone 9. It was a little bit high, but again, got a break.
Steph has cashed in Minnesota at the event, of course, held by or at Cedarville Lanes as she makes the spare. Host there, Brent Prentice, did not cash in Lincoln last week at Sun Valley Lanes. And ironically, also, Brianna Cote did not cash last week in Lincoln as well. And so for a while, we had an opportunity, or there was a possibility that there would have been 4 players who didn't cash last week who all make the show. Here's Zavala, beg your pardon. 5th frame. That's thrown it real good on the left lane. And this time, the 9-pin goes viciously, might I add.
Right here, does not get the ball as far right. See how she's keeping it around that 7-8? We talked about that. Once you get it, especially on the right lane, once you get it a little bit too far right down lane, it tends to just labor off the end of the pattern. The left lane, no one has had a problem. We've seen a couple stone nines, trip fours. It's this right lane that's been key. So I think whoever can get the brakes on this right lane, we just saw Stephanie leave the stone nine. I think that's going to be the change in the game.
All right, Cote working on a triple. Looking for 4 in a row here. Decent again. Oh, this time no on the messenger.
Almost. Right here, it gets it a little bit. Actually, that looked like a good shot. Pin goes right in front.
Ever so slightly behind the head pin.
And she may not have caught that one as much. One of the things that she has talked about is really staying in the moment and making sure that she doesn't rush through things. She worked with Sean, one of the ball reps for Storm and Rotogrip. And when she started to get a little quick, she said to him, remind me to just go through the process, stay slow, and get, reset.
All right, good spare there for Cote. And here is a good time to share with you a quick mention regarding all of our apparel sponsors. Big thanks to you, Viz Sportswear, High Five Gear, I Am Bowling by Logo Infusion, Rift Apparel EFX, which Bree knows a little bit about, Bowlify, Cool Wick, and Chameleon. So Brianna Cote, 9 spare, triple, 9 spare.
Yeah.
Working with, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll just say working against the inexperience of Zavala, but yeah, I think Steph has held her own to this point so far.
I think the collegiate players, they bowl fearless. They just get up and bowl because they're used to bowling.
No doubt about that. Cote, bang. Making Central Missouri proud and certainly the rest of her family. And so, CDB, if you can, try to take me into the mind of Stephanie Zavala and think back to maybe when you made your first show, which was just last week, because you're 21.
Right.
But how did you handle it and in comparison? And if you had to give advice, obviously, what would you say?
I would say to take your time. Try not to get ahead of yourself. Oh, there's one of those messengers.
Messengers galore on the right lane. That the lane cam.
Look at that one. Out to about the 3 board. And just blowing pins around.
Just excellent to pick up these messengers,
right.
Specifically on that right lane.
So one of the things I would remind everybody to do is just take your time, stick to what you do best. In other words, if you're big on your pre-shot routine, just stick to that. And what goes through your mind when you were bowling the best, have that come into your mind at that time, but not to rush through it. Just take your time, savor the moment.
That's a huge double for Zavala, the former Team USA member, also spent some time on Junior Team USA as well, as has Brianna Cote.
The other thing I'd like to point out, Brianna is more of a traditional bowler. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. I'm a traditional bowler. Little more of just, she has axis rotation. She uses her ball speed to her advantage. Where you look at Stephanie, and Stephanie is more of the newer age bowling. A lot of rotation off her hand, higher rev rate, can cover more of the lane a little more easily than someone that's a little more of the traditional bowler. That doesn't mean that's good or bad. It's just different and the change in the game.
Cote looking for a double. Bang.
Because there's nothing wrong with that right there out of a traditional bowler. This one, she definitely caught this one. As you can see how her ball cut through the pin straight back. That was a great shot.
Mentioned Bree, and really opened the tournament, obviously, with mean and bad intentions, shooting 15.45 in round one to take the lead, and the lead that she had last night into early this morning before Stephanie Zavala shot 15-18 in the cashers round to claim the lead as we moved into the round of 12. It has been an excellent performance for Cote, and trying, of course, and she's going to have to hold off Zavala here, but trying to become a three-time champion here today. For 3 in a row. Little lazy 10 pin there, CDP.
Yep, got that one. Just you see her hand. She got that one a little bit further right down lane than she has been, and you can see by her hand. There you go. She didn't quite catch that one. Kind of like that 10 pin on the right lane that time. Remember I said didn't look like she really got around that one. So again, ball didn't drive through the pins the way it has been. Her best shots have been the ones where she's kept it a little more in front of her, not gotten it right of that 8-9, kind of like Birgit, and she's been carrying light and in the pocket. So she'll make the spare, and then she will just remind herself, make sure to catch it. Just make sure to catch it.
10 pin, hold on. All right, took care of business. I had a bad angle there.
Those are the shots on a pattern like this where the scores are so high. It really isn't about, oh gosh, I need another ball right now. It's more of, did I throw it good? If not, I could probably catch it a little more just to create what I need. And honestly, she has a great look. So right there, just missed it a little bit. She'll just remind herself to slow down her brain and make her good shots and stay in her moment.
Right now, max score for Brianna Cote is 248. Zavala trying to add to this total, and what a shot there. Maybe her best shot of the match.
I mean, look at this rotation. I mean, God, I wish we could get a slow of her hand. She's so behind it and then just gets that wrist almost in. I can't explain it. I'd love to have a replay of it and just show it, like right on it. But hand gets underneath it, and then she just, flies through it. It's just, that's right. That's natural talent right there. That right there is just the modern game. You're looking at it.
Possibility of a tie exists as Zavala now looking for 5 in a row. Bang! Stephanie Zavala coming to play the rookie out, looking for her first title in her first championship match.
Playing a little bit deeper. She's probably crossing, from what I can see, maybe 15, 16 out to that 7-8 area. And again, just that here, for everybody that's watching, we talk about ball motion all the time. It doesn't matter how you throw it, as long as you have good ball motion. So she's deeper than Brianna, but she still has that smooth ball motion off the end of this pattern where there was a lot of friction. So again, you might throw it different, but you can get to the same spot differently and be very successful.
Zavala has applied all types of pressure here on Cote. She needs it. And oh my goodness, what a late trickle of the 7 pin. It falls over to the left. Huge.
I think this right lane is the tricky lane, especially when you're going a little more direct. But she got the break and got the 7 pin off the deck. Got some big shots coming up.
So the strike in the 9th, again, has set us up perfectly, folks. Max scores for both players, 248. The rookie, Stephanie Zavala, the number 1 seed, against Brianna Cote, the number 2 seed. Cote, again, leading for the majority of the tournament until Stephanie Zavala shot 15-18 for 6 games this morning during the cashers round.
Is that all? My God.
10th frame first shot, Cote. Push a little, and 3-6. She looks down there, CDB, shaking her
I got
head.
to tell you, I liked the shot. She kept it in front of her. But remember, what did we say about the left lane? The left lane was definitely breaking down, hooked earlier. I even talked to some of the ball reps. The left lane definitely had more hook, especially in that middle part. Could have gotten just a little slow where that ball went through the nose. Because that's one of the keys, and I mentioned this too. Brianna uses her ball speed to her advantage, and she does it very well. And again, you're in a pressure situation. Everybody wants to win. It, just a little bit slow, and all of a sudden it read off the drive just too early.
Big spare here. It's right, and she chops it. Oh no. 2:16 officially now for Brianna Cote and Stephanie Zavala. It's in her hand, CDB.
Yes, it is. Very uncharacteristic of Brianna, and she needs to just let that go because she's been bowling great. She's been working, and I think she's a very good spare shooter. That's just getting maybe a little ahead of yourself, rushing, and just it's just a miss there. It happens.
A mark and a title. Zavala. Bang! Stephanie Zavala coming to play. The rookie from Sam Houston State.
Right
Oh,
here, again, just perfect. And this lane was the key. This lane was the key on making good shots and getting those strikes together to put the pressure on. And with her rev rate being left, I think was definitely to her advantage.
Wow, look at the area there. Celebrate, young lady. You are a PWBA champion and her first championship round appearance as the top seed, as any seed for that matter. She gets the job done. Of course, she got a break, Brianna Cote, with the open in the 10th frame. And already showing some poise, CDB. She steps up and throws a great shot to win a title.
Because she's not thinking. See, you're not supposed to think when you bowl.
247 officially to 216. Your final score, Stephanie Zavala. I'm sure the tears are going. The emotions are certainly flowing. Everybody in the chat who is rooting and have been rooting all week for Stephanie Zavala. You can see her hands on the face. She's talking to Neil Milligan, the director of operations. Wow, CDB. Put that moment into perspective as someone who went through that at one point in your career, certainly your first title.
Oh, there's nothing like it. That's the one you remember the most. I don't. Look, the majors and all the other things, you win 2 in a row. It does. That's phenomenal too. But the first one, when you finally say to yourself, I'm a champion. Come on, it gives me goosebumps. I love watching people win their first title because it's so, like, even I'm getting a little teary-eyed. I feel it's your dream. People, I get emotional. It's a dream. And for a dream to become a reality, my life was a storybook, for God's sake. And you would never imagine it. And that is just what our sport, or any sport and any athlete, wants, is that moment, that 15 seconds, that moment that says, oh my God, I did it. I did it. Oh my God, I'm tearing up. It's just pathetic. Oh my God.
We will talk to Stephanie in just one second, but first, the runner-up, gracious with her time, and we appreciate that as we welcome in Brianna Cote to our broadcast here. And Bri, obviously, what a week, first of all, for you. Excellent work this week. You come up a little short, obviously, the open frame in the 10th, but talk about and run us through what you saw in the championship match.
Stephanie bowled great all day. She's given us a run for our money today. And, I knew it was going to be a a tough match. So I just had to make good shots. Unfortunately, one of my worst shots of the day came in the 10th frame, and I'm only human. I make mistakes, unfortunately. And after not making the cut last week, I'll take a second place finish and build on that for Queens.
I think you're throwing it great. I do. I think you've been throwing it great for a couple of years since you made the change to 14 pounds. We talked a little bit about, I'm still getting emotional. This is watching you both too. Everything is going in the right direction. And when I spoke to you, you said, I worked on my spare game. I worked on different angles. And we also spoke about that. Tell everybody out there, because there's such, that disparity against, I have to throw 15 pounds or 16 pounds. And I focused on the fact of, she's sending messengers, 14 pounds. So all of you out there that tell me this, it's not true. So just tell us a little bit about, how did those changes help with your confidence?
It just helped, to see pins fly around, because, I can manipulate the ball a little bit more with my hand. And yeah, I was like, yeah, messenger, that was my first one of the week. So I was super excited. But yeah, 14 pounds, 15 pounds, the pins are going to fall. The pins are going to fall. And I don't see a difference in carry. I think it's just per person. And if that's what's best for you, do it. If not, no harm in trying something different. So I'm fortunate enough that it works for me, and I'm thankful that they fell this week. I was really hoping for a win, because I was wearing my my bucket jersey, who passed away in March. So he was with me today, but fortunately he was the other spare I missed today. So I was kind of a little mad at him, but I think he helped me through today, and when I kind of got lost a little bit.
So wait a minute, it wasn't because I was on the live stream, because you told me it was.
I do.
And I was getting ready.
You have a pretty good record with me, so I'm just going to carry you with me everywhere I go.
And I was going to tell you, and then you owe me dinner if you win. That's what I'm kidding.
Wherever you want to
go. And quickly, I want to just ask you one more question. Staying in the moment. I'm reading my notes here. Staying in the moment and making sure I slow down and reset when I feel like I was getting a little ahead of myself. Did you do that in the 10th frame?
I did, and unfortunately I just made a bad spare attempt. I didn't rush myself. I took my time that I thought I did, and I just didn't execute, plain and simple. Lesson learned, like I said, I'm human. We all make mistakes. And, I knew that if I wanted a chance for the title, I was going to have to strike out, because I was pretty confident that Stephanie would. So, whether I spared and struck, I was pretty confident she's going to get that first one. So, but again, you never know. But again, I'm happy for her, first time titleist, and winning that first title is pretty awesome. So I'm happy for her.
Right. No, well, I think you're going in the right direction. You've been bowling great the last few years. And yeah, we will see you back in the top 4 this year.
Absolutely. Bree, congrats obviously on a great week, and good luck next week at the Queens.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That is Brianna Cote, your runner-up. We will be joined momentarily by tonight's winner, Stephanie Zavala. CDB, before Steph gets here, shout out to Downey, California, by the way, her hometown, again, just outside of Los Angeles. Sam Houston State, I really thought she was a first-team All-American. I was shocked when she told me she wasn't, and I hadn't looked it up because I was so sure. But all the talent in the world, but what stuck out to me, obviously, she said she wants to be Rookie of the Year. That's why she's out here. And we can talk about that next. She's ready to go. So let's welcome the newest PWBA champion, Stephanie Zavala. I see all the smiles under your mask, and I love that, by the way. Take us through the 10th frame. You watched Brianna give you the opening, of course, and you stepped up like a seasoned veteran and took advantage of that opportunity. How did you do it?
I told myself I need to stay present no matter what, go through your pre-shot routine and just hit, smack, post every shot.
Well, you did that, and I bowled with you this week, and it's funny. It's not funny, but it might have been in the second game of qualifying. I was texting Dell, and I had said this on the show, and I said, "Oh my God, this girl throws it amazing. I'm telling you, she has a chance to get to the show this week." I did. You could. I'm telling you, next time you see him, you ask him, because your reaction was not. First of all, your reaction was phenomenal. Second of all, you were stepping up and making the shots. And like you just did in the 10th frame, that was just no fear whatsoever. And that was something I admired. But how much did your college experience at Sam Houston State prepare you for this first year out on tour?
Oh, first off, I appreciate you. I've looked up to you for years, so thank you so much.
Well, I'm only 21. He said it earlier, so you couldn't have than me.
And
Thank you.
Bowling at school, I mean, it's just a whole different nature, like the competitive vibe, the long hours, I mean, practicing every day. It just gets you ready for being out here and just bowling, 25 games in a weekend and just everything. It goes a long way.
What are some of your goals for this year? Because we know them, but we want to hear you say them.
Well, Rookie of the Year, that's obviously the biggest goal on my mind, and just make as many shows as possible, make a name for myself.
I love it.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Amal. Go right ahead. Sorry.
Steph, just quickly, you go from shooting 15-13 this morning in the cashier's round to then take the lead. So from that point on, did you realize you had taken the lead, and then, how were you able to kind of keep yourself together and not get too far ahead? Obviously, you could have been the number 1 seed, and you certainly were. But how did you just kind of keep all of that wrapped up together and still perform at the highest level at this point in time?
I'm not going to lie. It is really difficult, especially when they're showing the scores on every screen, like every game. I get yelled at back home. My friend Chris is always like, stop score watching. You just got to, stay present, stay within yourself, and just take every moment for what it is.
I love that. And keeping it simple. You really are keeping it simple. I do have one more question. Sorry. I know how much emphasis when you do bowl college, they put on not only your physical game and making you better, but also the mental game. And there's a lot of people that are watching this who are parents of collegiate bowlers or parents of bowlers that will become collegiate bowlers. What is a piece of advice you can give them about training both physically and mentally?
Well, physically, it's easy. Don't take your workouts for granted. We bowl a lot and we bowl constantly. So just eat right and do your workouts. Mentally, I will say I struggled with that for a long time. And it's just a matter of, you belong out here. Tell yourself you belong out here and just trust yourself. You wouldn't be out here if you didn't think you could do it. So trust yourself.
I love that. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that advice going into the Queens next week. Stephanie, it was an absolute pleasure to watch you bowl and cross with you. And thank you for writing down my ball numbers. And I will see you in Reno.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely, Stephanie. Congratulations. Don't go too far. I've got another interview to conduct with you real quick. So hang tight and I'll be right over. Congrats again.
Thank you so much.
That is your newest PWBA champion, Stephanie Zavala. It's fun to see rookies perform well and perform well pretty early.
I know. I love it. Yes, and she's such a nice kid. Oh my God. And I call her a kid because I don't even know. Is she 22 yet? I mean,
she's 24.
24. Oh, geez.
25 next month.
Right. She can get car insurance.
Yeah.
She can rent a car, right? But again, I say that with the utmost respect because that is another thing that you're seeing out of a lot of these collegiate players. They are great bowlers. They do belong out on tour, but they're good individuals. They are respectful. They take the sport seriously. They take what they represent seriously. And you even heard in her interview, she gives accolades to the collegiate program that she comes from. And that says a lot about the people that she surrounds herself with, as well as her parents, and the coaches, of course, like a Brad Hagan. So we're talking about all around young athletes that are good for our sport and will become great ambassadors, which again, we talked about will lead to people staying in the sport of bowling.
Absolutely. And wow, this was fun. This was fun for me. First time back in quite a long time. Big thanks to all of you for watching our Bowl TV community, and thank you for welcoming back. Certainly, there's still some things going on, obviously, with Stephanie. She's got some pictures to take and another interview to do. CDB, I haven't had a chance to work with you, I think, since the U.S. Women's Open and probably 3 years ago. It was an absolute pleasure, and I hope we get to do this again.
Yes, well, I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
So we will be working together in a way, but I'll be on the lanes. You will be behind the scenes calling the action, right?
We will talk about that. And thank you for joining us this
You
week.
bet.
And let's continue our thank yous to United States Bowling Congress. First of all, Mike Flanagan, by the way. Excellent job, Mike. We appreciate you producing the show, working with some new equipment. Big time, my man. Thank you very much. The USBC and the USBC board, the BPAA and the BPAA board, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA. And of course, without the PWBA players, we would not be treated to such fantastic Stepladder Finals appearances. We appreciate UCDB and all of the players of the PWBA. And last but not least, again, the Bowl TV community. Without you, we would not be here presenting this action to you. We thank you, we love you, and we certainly appreciate it. So, for all of us here at Bowl TV, for Carolyn Dorn Ballard, for Mike Flanagan, to Neil Milligan, our Director of Operations, Caitlin Nelson, I got to give a big shout out to Rick Barbera, who is here courtesy of Brunswick, and our proprietors for the week, Yorktown Lanes. Don't want to forget them. Aaron and Jeremy Cottrell, excellent job as always. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Next week, CDB, you'll be at the USBC Queens with everyone else in Reno. Good luck. Godspeed. We will see you soon. This has been a presentation of the 2021 PWBA Greater Cleveland Open right here on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here. Good night, folks.